Welcome to SOC4451, Social Inequality, Sport, and the Body. I really hate the fact that I'm writing this instead of greeting you in person. Even in a big room, I really enjoy the energy you guys bring, but this is fall 2020. Who am I? That's hard to say. What should you understand about me? I don't know, but I can give you some basics. So I went to UC Berkeley after growing up in LA, which my mother described as adding fuel to a fire, and she meant it as a compliment. She was the one who gave me the Question Authority button and a copy of Howard Zinn, and she worked in social services. I grew up hearing my father, faculty at UCLA, championing transit equity as a way to reduce racial and gender inequities. He served as an expert witness for the Bus Riders Union. So when I arrived in college, I was proud to be part of the first UC freshman class that had no ethnic majority. Diversity and inclusivity were key values my parents and teachers had championed. At UC Berkeley, one arrived without a major and declared at the end of sophomore year. So I shopped, taking a range of undergraduate classes that would be a good fit for my major or would work otherwise for GE. Sociology felt like I had finally found a place that I fit in. I used to say I always felt like I was looking at the same things as everyone else, but standing a lot further back. And sociology was a whole bunch of us standing further back. I was lucky enough to take classes from top race, gender, sexuality, and stratification scholars. People who made sure I understood that there were more questions than answers, and that learning how to answer questions in social and historical context matters. My first sport class captivated me, and even though I struggled, a sophomore in a class meant for seniors, I persevered. Each class I took, my grades got better and it got easier. The final exam of my third sport sociology class was actually fun. My professor gave us an ad and just said, "Analyze it." People always wonder what they're really good at and how they'll know. It's when you're working really hard but having a blast. Years later, I ran into my professor at a conference and he remembered me and that exam. He wasn't surprised I was now a professor of sports sociology. It was pretty obvious I was hooked, and it turns out, even in the marginalized field of sociology, sports was an obscure and marginalized subfield. So when Michael Messner at USC called me after receiving my application to graduate school, I was stunned. It was like winning the lottery, and I was going to study with one of my heroes. And with PhD in hand, I soon learned that no one actually wants to hire a sports sociologist, even with a specialist in gender, race, class, and sexuality. I taught all over the country for a few years. Landing at CPP was fantastic, right? It's a great place to work, and I'd applied for jobs all over the world, and here I was coming home to be close to my family. I've been at Cal Poly since 2002, and frankly, it's a great place to work primarily because of you. The students here are special, and I'm not saying that to just try to curry favor with you, but you guys are open, honest, and engaging in a way that's really special and that makes teaching you a really amazing experience. So thank you for that. This class itself was a passion project for me. Dr. Chase and I created this class because nothing else like it existed on the campus at that time. Over the last 20 years, it's evolved and changed, as have the times. And here we are, at a crucial moment of change. It's a little devastating to not be with you as we struggle through this moment. Over the last few months, I've been challenged to think more deeply about the social world, possibilities, assumptions, and critiques than at any other point in my life. And it is glorious, painful, and terrifying. I will do my best to find ways to bring us together online to discuss and grow. Sociology is about sitting with uncomfortable truths. Sometimes we can act, and sometimes these things cannot be immediately addressed, but may be chipped away at. And at this moment, the foundations of power are crumbling. As critical race theory, feminist theory, disability rights theory, queer theory, and a host of others chip away at the ontological and epistemological foundations of Western thought. Audre Lorde wrote, "The master's tools will never dismantle the master's house." And I am taking this moment to really consider both how to dismantle and how to build, how to create new tools, and how to be open to allowing those tools to rebuild me. The thing I love most about sociology is the process of dismantling everything that makes people feel small, ashamed, less, unworthy, and helping to find ways to build a more inclusive world. This may mean sociology is rendered obsolete or must also be dismantled, and that's okay. When I started working, I used to joke that my goal was to put myself out of a job by getting folks educated about dismantling systems of privilege and oppression. And holy shit, it's actually happening. Don't stop.